Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled 33 Boss Babe Went Bankrupt, Ran Back to a 9 to 5. Let's get right into it.
I feel like this will make someone feel better, so I'm about to tell my business, but I have no car, no place, no job. I'm in a rental, so they finally repossessed the Tesla after 2 years of not paying on it, so I can't be mad at that. And this is not my first time losing everything. 2 years ago, the same thing happened because I had a failed business and I lost my house. I lost a bunch of money, $1 million in debt, and I almost lost my mind that time. But this time around, I have so much faith, and I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, find something to believe in. For me, I had to build a better relationship with God, and that allows me to feel a little bit more safe because I can trust someone outside of myself, right? Number two, instead of looking at your losses as you losing something, look at it as you're making space for what you truly desire, because that's all.
Okay, now I like the wish-washy feel. I like the fact that she went back to God. You know, Jesus Christ is King. But the thing that I don't understand is that when women say they go to God, they think that's in substitution of a man. It's not. Okay, God wants you to submit to a man, is what he ordains for you, okay? Now, this girl, she went through a whole bunch of trouble trying to run her own business, trying to be a boss babe, had to end up filing bankruptcy, okay? Let's cover that first, and then we'll continue.
I'm going to give a bankruptcy update for those who care. First of all, guess how much debt I was in? $1 million. I think it was $1,032.46, something like that. $1 million. The last time we talked, I think I told y'all that I filed bankruptcy, but I had a house, so they wanted me to do chapter 13 and the payments were way too expensive. I sold the house and then filed chapter 7. So no regrets with that. Honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done. Now I'm just waiting on my discharge papers. I already did my 341 hearing. Let me know if y'all want me to do a video about that. I did want to answer some common questions that I get. First of all, people wanted to know, did I use an attorney or did I file myself? I did use an attorney. I feel like my situation was very complicated. As I said, I'm $1 million in debt. However, it's up to you if you are someone who is considering.
Now, it's very interesting to me that she went $1 million in debt. I don't know if that includes the price of her home, but from what I gather, she's running a business, okay? And you know, when you're going to be a boss babe, borrow $1 million to make the biggest bosses play, okay? Because CEOs borrow lots of money. Now, ultimately, she decided that becoming a boss babe wasn't for her. And that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's really not for a lot of people, okay? Listen to how she decided to go from a boss babe to going back to a regular employee. Take a look.
Entrepreneurship was not for me, and I am so okay with saying that because I feel like more people need to say it. When I owned a business, I could never turn my brain off. I could never just be in the moment. I was always thinking about stuff. Oh, I need to get this done. I need to get that done. Getting phone calls about the cars. Oh, this car broke down. It was too much. The idea of not knowing how much you're going to make this month, or you might lose money this month, that made me want to vomit. You have to have a certain mindset to be an entrepreneur, and I did not have it. I am team 9 to 5 with a little bit of side hustle, clocking in and clocking out, and then having something on the side. I was able to take off 2 years just from doing that. I had my 9 to 5 and I was doing content. That was enough. To the entrepreneurs out there, I commend you, because when I did it, I was like, why do people do this? It's a lot.
Because we're men, okay? And listen, I'm not saying that women shouldn't run businesses, but a lot of women, y'all just want the results. Y'all just want to sit on a beach with a Mai Tai in a nice little bikini with glasses on and taking pictures for Instagram. That's what you guys think about a business. But a business really is about sacrifice. And she said it the best. You can never turn your brain off. When I'm running my YouTube business, bro, I'm always thinking about the next content I'm going to shoot. I usually put out 2 videos a day. And to put it into perspective, this is 2025 when we're in September. I've already put over 500 videos out for this year. Can you imagine 500 videos? And by the way, each video is like 25 minutes each. Okay, so we're talking about 250 hours of content. I know, okay? And on top of that, she's right. There's unstable earnings, okay? 1 month you're up, 1 month you're down. That's kind of the way it works. And a lot of people quit before they ever see the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Now, I thought it's kind of funny when she talking about dating, because my thoughts were like, well, why don't you just go get a man? Well, this is her thoughts about dating. Take a look.
People always ask me why I'm single and why I don't date, and it's simply because I would rather daydream about a man than them actually be in my presence, because I don't like when men exist or they go off script. In my head, it's always perfect. I can think about who I want, and then I don't know if that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense, okay? You don't like when men go off script. You don't like when men exist. What, you really want us to be part of your fairy tale? But at least she's honest about it. A lot of women can't admit that this is how they really feel about life, that they project their views onto the world, that their views on men don't actually reflect the men that exist. It reflects the men that they have in their mind, okay? So it's interesting to see her talk about this because, look, she went from a boss babe to an employee, and now she looks like she's going to be single for the rest of her life. Okay, but at least she gets a daydream about men. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look.
I'm not a rich stay-at-home mother. I value my children more than I do money. And my husband, he is the provider, so he goes out there and work. I'm not a rich stay-at-home mother.
She's living a simple life, okay? She says, I'm broke, stay-at-home mother, okay? But guess what? If you're broke and you depend on the man, what else can you do, okay? You can't run around trying to start a business and get yourself in some more trouble, maybe even rack up a bunch of debt. You got to just work with what you got. And honestly, this kind of lifestyle is actually great for a lot of women, okay? I don't understand why everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to have millions of dollars. Everybody wants a Jaguar. Everybody wants a Lamborghini. It doesn't work like that. Listen, I came from affluence. My dad used to drive Jaguars and Porsches and brand new cars, and I lived in brand new houses growing up my entire life. But let me tell you something. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice what they got to sacrifice in order to do that. He sacrificed a lot, and he's enjoying it now in his 60s, but how many people want to wait till their 60s to really enjoy life? Most of y'all want to go on vacations now. Y'all want to travel now. Y'all want to spend now, okay? But this might be the alternative that's better. Get yourself a husband, stay broke, and just be happy, okay? Now, she has advice for other women that wants to be wives. Take a look.
There's videos circulating about women being single, no children at a young age. But let me tell you, girls, do not follow that trend because look here, while you're young, you're youthful, you have a lot of energy, and you're attractive, that is the time to get married and have children. Because once you get to a certain age, your body may not be able to have children. Men find you more attractive when you're younger, not when you're older. That's why you find a lot of educated, successful women single because they waited so long for a husband. Nobody don't want you when you in your 40s. I'm in my 40s. I got lucky marrying my husband in my 30s. I recommend that you find a good man when you're young. There's video.
And of course, women in her comments going to give her backlash. Oh no, we got to be boss babes. This is how we imagine it in our minds. And our minds better reflect reality, but they don't. You project on reality, okay? You have ideas that were given to you from Disney, okay? It's from fairy tales. They're not true. She's living a real life, and she said it the best. Men prefer you when you're youthful and full of energy. When your body, you get older, it starts to shut down, and it's hard for your body to conceive children in your 30s and your 40s, especially your late 30s and your late 40s. But every woman is trying this. They're all on this conveyor belt of single motherhood or being a cat mom in their late 40s. I don't get it, but that's what everyone's signing up for. Anyway, I thought this video was interesting as well. Take a look. Hey, listen up, Safe Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly, you just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
When are we going to address the fact that the cost of living is literally costing a fucking living? I ain't signed up for this shit. A motherfucker is tired. Very grateful to be able to obtain in this time that we're living in. Because God forbid you got to start over. They not even hiring, not only for degrees, but for regular jobs, regular positions. They're not hiring for shit. Then don't have been somewhere where the cost of living was already high as a motherfucker. Now it's triple double that. Quality shit as fuck. Go to the grocery store. The second you buy some motherfucking fruit, you bring that shit home. Do you know you got 30 minutes? 30. Gas is literally lasting 2 and a possible. Bitch, 48 hours? All I did was go to work and back home. Like, it's not even that far, bitch. I'm like 10 minutes away. Like, I'm over it for real though. I'm truly over it. Then they wonder why motherfuckers ain't having kids. Like, is you cool? For what? Motherfuckers without kids don't even want them anymore. Like, it's just, no, they don't even want them. And then everybody else that have them already, they're done. They're done. Bitches is starting to get their tubes tied. Bitch, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I don't have to get an abortion. I'm not having no more. Like, is y'all fucking cool? It's crazy out here. On top of it being HIV every motherfucking word you turn, bitch. Ain't nobody worried about fucking. Then y'all getting ready to take away Medicare and Medicaid. Who the fuck got time to be raising kids on top of taking care of their elder loved ones? Like,
damn. Okay, and she said it in a nutshell. You know, it's hard out here. Times are tough, okay? And if you really think about it, if you want to be a boss babe, it ain't going to be easy. You're going to be struggling. You might be broke so much. You might file bankruptcy, okay? You might lose your Tesla. You might lose your home. You might lose everything. Just to be old and undesirable to men. You know, if you really think about it, yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. As a society, we're cooked, okay? Now, if you're a man, you have more time, okay? Time's on your side. But if you're a woman, you have to snap out of this shit real quick. You got to snap out of it, okay? You guys are in la la land, and that's the only place you want to exist. Now, here's another woman who kind of understands what she needs to do to live a better life. Take a look.
So me and my husband just had the life-changing discussion on how I could be a better wife for him. I thought I was doing a great job, but apparently there's some things that he needed that I wasn't giving. And that could be as simple as, you know, kissing him when he gets home. I thought, you know, hey babe, was good enough. So my suggestion to you is have a sit down with your partner, try to do this without arguing, and ask them, hey babe, you know, can you give me a report card? And I think that was the best conversation that we had as far as what we could do to be not only better for each other, but for me personally, to be a better wife to him. So I'm already starting that and I'm reaping the benefits fast. So go ahead, get that report card. That's my advice to you. So
I like that. The wife report card. It makes sense. Honestly, look, long-term relationships are tough. They're not easy, okay? And part of the reason why they're not easy because people don't communicate when they're feeling like they're neglected, when they're feeling like they want something, but they're not getting it, okay? Now, her husband felt like, damn, why am I coming home from work, a hard day at work, and you don't even greet me with a kiss? You're just like, hey, what up? Like I'm just a nigga, like, what's up, bro? What's up? You know, like I'm just passing by. Nah, I'm supposed to be the man of the house. You're supposed to greet me like Usher just walked into the room, okay? But so them communicating, that helped a lot because she probably initially didn't know. Okay, so I like that though. Wife report card sounds like a good idea. And in fact, you should start as soon as you have a girlfriend. Give your girlfriend a report card. Have her give you a report card. Check on each other. Okay, you're going to need each other because you're going to be the people that bail each other out of this crisis that we're in. Okay, we're in an economic collapse or soon to be. Okay, and all you're going to have is each other. Y'all both might lose your jobs. Anyway, here's another girl talking about how cooked this economy is. Take a look.
So I'm going to hold your hand when we talk about this today. The U.S. is cooked, and it's not a matter of if it's cooked. It's a matter of how cooked it is and what your exit plan is going to be. So either you are going to stay in the stew or you're going to make a plan to move to another country. And for those of you that are listening to this and you think, oh, that sounds very drastic. What is she talking about? That's crazy. So my name is Jamelia. I've lived abroad for 15 years. I just came back from Atlanta 3 days ago, and it's cooked, it's done, it's a wrap. So if I were you, if I had to start all over again, and if it, you know, I started out in 2025 doing this, then I would decide that I'm going to move abroad and I'm going to start a business. And it wouldn't matter how much learning I needed to do, but I would do it.
Now, you know, she moved to Dubai like Sadia Khan, so you know she probably is trying to date a wealthy man that got multiple girlfriends. So here's what it looks like for a lot of women. If you're going to leave this country to go abroad to be a passport sis, just know the best case scenario is you're going to be shared. You're going to have to share a man. Okay, you're going to be sister wives. You're going to be like sister girlfriends, okay? You're going to have to date a man who dates other girls, okay? And he's probably smashing all of them raw too, yeah. It's probably like that, okay? It's just wild out there. Now, I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm just saying that, look, this is what life is. Not what it ought to be. This is what it is, okay? What should it ought to be? I don't know what it ought to be. Maybe you ought to do all the child rearing and getting married at a younger age, keep your legs close till you're married, and that might be the best case scenario. But if you choose to be a boss babe, I've showed you many outcomes, and a lot of them are not great. Okay, move overseas and be passed around like Sadia Khan, or stay in this country and file bankruptcy. Okay, tell me which one works for you. Anyway, here's a video I thought was pretty interesting, and it talks about women and their shapes. Hey, take a look.
Most women are out of shape in every function you go to. It's just an observation. I actually include myself in this. I'm not in the best shape either. You look around the room and men be in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and a lot of them be in shape. Then you look around the room at the women, and the women be in their like 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Younger women. And most, if not all, the women be out of shape.
And that's the sad part. And they all think they deserve a top tier husband. Imagine that. We're living in a society where we have a lot of technology, a lot of resources. But what's going on? More and more people are getting unhealthy, sick, they're out of shape, even though there's gyms and gym memberships everywhere. Anyone can get a gym membership. Anyone can eat healthy. There's supermarkets. Just, people know about water. People know about fruits. People know about vegetables. But they don't eat it, and they know about gyms, and they don't go. It's impressive that we're living in a time where there's so much information at the palm of your hands, and still people are that dumb. They're that dumb. Anyway, here's a girl. She's really sticking to this idea of, you know what, black women are overweight. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Let me get this straight. When other races tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle because they're more prone to health problems, y'all tell them to stay out of black folks' business. Okay. When black men get on here and tell black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to stay out of women's business. Okay. When black women get on here to tell other black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to mind their business. Y'all say we're the least supported group in America, but when somebody gives y'all sound advice, y'all would rather hold on to 400 years of slavery rather than taking accountability for your present day actions. Okay.
Damn! Did she cook or not? Did she cook or not? Wow. Stay out of my business, stay out of women's business, and mind your business. You know, it's funny, but you want to be somebody's business. You're like, oh, why we're not protected? You're wondering why. No one can tell you nothing. Listen, we're only trying to critique women and guide them because we have a vested interest in them. I'm not no Charlie Kirk, okay? Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk had some kind of issue with the black community, in my opinion. People trying to tell me, no, he didn't, no, he didn't. Listen, man, the last words that came out of his mouth was gang violence, okay? But he didn't get killed by gang violence. Rest in peace to that brother. I'm just saying that to say that I'm criticizing my community because I'm in the community, so I'm trying to fix my community. I suggest a lot of people go and try to work on their community first. So you see all my content and it's relating to black people because I'm black and I care about black women. I have black sisters, I have black moms, I have black aunties, right? I said black moms. I got one black mom, okay? But I have black women in my family like nieces, and I care about their future. And so I'm just trying to clean up my little neighborhood and take care of my business. But a lot of women trying to suggest it's not our business, okay? They want us to stay out of women's business. It's always stay out of something, okay? And we're going to deal with that. And we have to accept the reality that they are hypocritical, you know what I'm saying? And they're speaking backwards. Anyway, I thought this video was very interesting as well. She's talking about how black women are just so horrible to work for. Take a look.
I hate to be the one to say this, and I really do mean I hate to be the one to say this, but having a boss that's an older black woman is the most depressing psychological warfare that you could ever experience. And I hate that that's become a stereotype and a norm. My friend and I were talking this morning, and she was just talking about her experience that she had just had over the last year with her previous boss, and how she literally felt like she was going crazy. And she knew she wasn't tripping. And I had told her, like, over the last year, like over the last 3 years, to be honest, some of the things that I had been experiencing with my bosses, and I work in education, and we all know that's a woman-dominated field. And then I live in Atlanta at that. So, and we know, like, it's nothing but black excellence here. However, when I tell you, like, the amount of projection that I've experienced and the trauma that I've experienced has been out of this world when it comes to having black women in leadership. Like, I was on 2 antidepressants because I literally felt like I was going crazy because of the women, the older women that was in leadership. Like, it was literally, I would come home drained every day, not from the work that I was doing, but from the relationships, from the cattiness, from the backbiting, from just the atmosphere of the workplace in general. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, and I don't mean this with no shade, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis thing. I don't know if it's I hate my role. I don't know if it's I'm trying to prove something. But having a Black woman that's a boss, like, it can literally be life draining. And then, like, you would think, like, oh, they're gonna, especially like being a Black woman, like a younger Black woman, like they're gonna show you like the game, like they're gonna put you on. No, like it almost feels like you're being hazed at that point, like literally. And it's quite as kept in education, like it being in Atlanta. You know, everybody's a part of sorority, and that's another story for a different day. But it literally, I can't even explain like the mental warfare that it was like. And I just hate that has become a stereotype. And I pray that if I ever get a position of leadership, that I can break that role. And I'm like, Lord, if you ever give me that, I want to be able to help, and I never want to be able to cause that to anybody else. But I just hate that that's the case. And even the new school that I'm at,
listen, for a lot of Black women in leadership, it's unbeknownst to them. They don't realize that they got employees on antidepressants. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? You're on antidepressants. You just work as a teacher in a school? Jesus. And she's talking about how, you know, she does education in Atlanta, and Black women bosses are horrible to work for because the amount of projection and the trauma and the backbiting, okay, and the cattiness that goes on into the job. Now, I've heard about this before. I've dated teachers, and they told me all the little silly politics, and this girl that looks like this girl, and this little girl that like that girl. Like, they literally are the leaders of the school, but they're still acting like students. They're still acting like high schoolers. Can you imagine that? Yeah. And they always say, Black men, I love this about the irony of all this, because Black women are always trying to say, oh, Black men need to grow up, and Black women, we mature faster. Where's the evidence in that? Everybody I meet always says that Black women are not good leaders. Black women can't run businesses. They can't do this. They can't do that. And it's not because they're Black. A lot of it because there are women, you know what I'm saying? But we just, you know, we're dealing with Black women. And so I don't think what she's talking about this is unique to Black women. I just think it's unique to women. Okay? A lot of times women rule with an iron fist unnecessarily. Okay? You're not leading a military. You're not leading a group of people that need to go into combat. Therefore, they must obey your orders, or it's going to create a large amount of, or unspecifiable amount of casualties if they don't. Okay? An unspecifiable amount of casualties. So in an environment like teaching, you don't got to rule with an iron fist. This is not the streets. A lot of women probably bring into the street shit into the school. And then on top of that, like you said, you know, the cattiness and this girl's clicked up with that girl. It's a lot. Now, I've never had a Black female boss for a long period of time. But the times that I did, I've always seen them overwhelmed, stressed. They can't handle it. They're breaking down all the time. And, you know, you absorb that. You absorb that. Anyway, I got one more video for you guys here. I thought this video was very interesting, and I won't lie, it's not so much about what she's saying, it's about how she looks. She's just an attractive girl, so I figured let her talk. Now, if you don't agree with what she's saying, that's fine, but at least we could look at her and say, you know what, that's actually a really interesting face that she has. That's a beautiful Black girl, and we're going to give her some time to clarify. Take a look.
Y'all, they're dragging me on Instagram because I said I'm not attracted to white men. I thought the feelings were mutual. What the fuck? Mind you guys, Trump is president, and the majority of people who voted for his racist ass were white men. And mind you guys, my whole life, I've literally only had Black men try to get at me. I can count on one hand the amount of white men that tried to get at me. And that's okay, because the feelings are so mutual, guys. Like, I feel like Black men, in my own great Black woman opinion, looks better. Like, I feel like they look better, they dress better, they just They're just better. I don't understand how that makes me racist. Like, I can't prefer black men. Like, I'm literally fucking black. And not to mention, guys, majority of white people to this day are still racist. Majority meaning more than not. You know, obviously not all are racist, but like, let's clock it. Majority are still fucking racist. Y'all, they're
now, I didn't know she was gonna say the effing racist part, and you know, whatever. You know, people are people. I think there's racist people of every color. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I try to tread lightly on these type of topics because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't like people outside the community talking about black issues, so I try not to talk about issues outside of my community. I try not to, okay? If I come across it, I come across it, but I'm not going to die on the hill of other people's problems. That's your problem. You fix your community. But I do want to say this. Look, it's absolutely okay to have any preference you want. And I'm okay with a girl of any race dating any race. I think there's really only one race. That's the human race. But we get into this whole division of color and ethnicity and this and that. In the long run, none of it matters. Okay, we're all children of God. We're all beautiful in our own ways, and we all got to work together. I don't want to live in a society that's only black people. I don't want to live in a society that's only white people. I don't want to live in a society of only any kind of people. Asian, Spanish, you know what I'm saying, Filipino. Even though I probably could live in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? But still, I want to be in a place that's diverse and has different groups of people because we all offer something unique to the puzzle. Okay? And we all offer something very unique to this puzzle called life. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel, chat blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see y'all over there.